Okay, here we are. We're going to take a request this time. We're going to do Changeling. That means there's going to be a lot more rambling because it's not a new episode and this is my first time watching it. Here we go. Oops, probably turn that back a bit. Going to turn down the volume of the episode a little bit for this one.
Straight to the Changeling Hive. I told you I could do it. Well, not exactly straight, Starlight. We've been popping all around Equestria and we still have to walk. It's like 12 steps away. Before Chrysalis's throne was destroyed, the closest magic would have gotten us was
But this is why you don't use teleportation for shit like that, Starlight.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how happy do you think Thorax is going to be about our surprise visit? Definitely 10. I mean, who wouldn't be happy at the chance to marvel at the overwhelming talent that is...
The great and powerful Trixie!
Trixie, we're coming to offer Thorax encouragement and support. His letters make it seem like the responsibilities of being the Changeling leader are a little overwhelming. Yeah, I know. That's basically what I said.
Basically.
Dealing with the wants and needs of his subjects. Redesigning the hive, a dread Malworth wreaking havoc outside. It does sound like a lot, but are you sure that last thing is real? The dread Malworth? Sure it is. Thorax said it's like half bear, half mole, half raging pile of claws. But now that the changelings don't feed
I'd
on
have
the
to
love
look
of
that up to
everything
see if that's a
around
real
them,
thing.
threats have started to grow
Or if
back.
they just made that up
This
for this.
Malworth keeps eating them all up. Malworth. Uh-huh. You're just trying to scare me.
So, first thing I'm going to point out that I actually have a theory going on about how exactly the new changelings work, and the fact that they are actually still parasites. The first part of that theory comes into play because of the fact that all the plants have started to grow back, now that they're no longer feeding off of love. This also ties into my whole theory about how magic works, and how magic is essentially life force and emotions. But we'll get to that.
Work. Because not only am I the great and powerful, I am also the unscarable Trixie!
Well, you know, except for all the time. I love that.
Please tell me Thorax also mentioned a terrifying-looking changeling who greets visitors but is actually nice? Nope.
And I'm not nice.
Starlight, you got us here. I'll take us home.
All those pew-pew lasers.
Teleportation spell, go!
Go Ghost, teleportation spell.
What are you waiting for? Use some magic to get us out of here! Calm down, unscarable Trixie. We have to find out what's going on. Thorax might need our help. We need our help! Teleportation spell, go! Teleportation spell, go! Ah! Teleportation spell! Why do you keep doing that? You know it doesn't work that way. I know, but this is my process.
She has a process,
Capture
man.
these trespassers.
Starlight! Trixie! It's okay, Pharynx. You can let them go.
But they were lurking on our grounds. In the old days, I would have already feasted on their love.
Well, that's why they're called the old days, because they're old. You don't do that anymore.
I'm sorry, that just line always gets me because it's so silly.
Yeah, I like the old days better.
Wish I could turn back time
We
to the good old days.
wanted to surprise you. Surprise!
Well, it's great to see you. I'm sorry about the welcome committee.
I thought Ember helped you get more
Gene
servants
Simmons.
so you could deal with all the renegade changelings who didn't want to change.
Oh, look, more
Oh,
continuity.
She did. Really helpful. I was able to convince all of them to change, except one of them, my brother.
Your brother?
Your
Yep,
brother?
Pharynx is my elder broodmaid.
Oh, yeah. You guys have the same eye shape?
What a ridiculous comparison. We are nothing alike.
Stop doing that!
I look better with holes.
Oh,
You know, the hive isn't
how
really
about I
much
show
of a
you the rest of
hive
the
without
where it's
holes,
less loud
actually.
and bangy? There have been a lot of changes since you were here last. I'm trying to
Changes.
start some new activities,
Changelings.
since the only thing we did before was hunt and patrol. There's Peter.
Peter.
Swing dancing. once-a-week potluck lunch? Ooh, and who can change shape and organize craft time? This guy.
I am really impressed, Thorax. The hive, all the activities.
No, he did it again. Faring stumped
Oh,
me.
this guy looks so
Camouflage
creepy.
paint on me. He said
First
my
time I saw him.
future color wasn't intimidating to our enemies. What enemies?
I am so sorry. I promise I'll talk
Well,
to
I
you.
mean, the
You're the
Mulworth.
ruler of the hive,
The
Thorax.
Mulworth is your
You need
enemy.
to do more than talk.
Well, maybe not everything here is amazing. Seriously, Thorax, what is up with your brother?
I mean,
Faring
it's just logically speaking, why would everybody want to change? Like, change is not something people accept willingly. And I mean, ironically, I wouldn't even expect a changeling to want to change that bad.
Patrol. But now we're peaceful and there's no need to patrol, so he just stalks around the hive making everyone miserable. The other changelings are sick of it, and if I can't get them to accept love and friendship and change like the rest of us, everything I've
If
done
I
is at
can't
risk.
indoctrinate them into the cult of friendship and nepotism, it's not going to work.
We know a thing or two about what it's like to be outsiders. Maybe we could talk to him for you.
Do you
Yes,
really
maybe
think
you
can
could.
help?
That is
Thorax,
perfectly
if
why
there's
you belong
any pony
here.
who can help your brother, it's me. And with Starlight,
Uh-oh. Okay, and we're back. Sorry about that. I'm gonna have to take this back a bit.
We know a thing or two about what it's like to be outsiders.
Yes, you do.
Maybe we could talk to him for you.
You're perfect for the
Really
job.
think you could help?
Thorax, if there's any pony who can help your brother, it's me. And with Starlight helping, it might take slightly longer, but I guarantee you...
Why are these two friends again? I mean, I love them, but
Thorax, we're ready to start work on the trail of plans to lead the Mulworth away.
No. I have
Mulworth
to head
away.
outside. You're sure you're okay?
I at least
Thorax?
like that they have more voices than they used to. Like, this is like your edgy brother.
Totally got
Not
this.
accepting the fact that everybody's in with the cool. It's like, it's still like disco, okay? Nah, but for
How do you
real.
want to play this? I'm thinking good pony, bad pony. You yell
Good
and
pony,
blast him
bad
with
pony.
magic.
Okay, good cops exist in this world, at least in Manhattan. So why is it good pony, bad pony? Like, what is? Wouldn't that be like just like banks and robbers versus? Like, there's so many ways that can be taken. Good guard, bad guard. You could have said that. Like, it's just applying the word pony to everything. And I know I'm complaining a lot. Trust me, I like the episode. I'm smiling as I'm saying this stuff.
Yeah. Well, my natural charisma will convince
And Starlight's just like, yeah, fuck you.
Starlight?
Hey, Pharynx! I know when we first met, it didn't go so well.
I put you in the bag. I thought it went great.
I love that.
Right. So, not a big fan of the vines, huh?
They're a safety hazard. An enemy could hide in them or use them as weapons. I don't even know why they're here.
Because they're pretty?
That's ridiculous.
That is actually ridiculous. And he postulates a good point. Like, the realism, I mean, I know you have to accept the fact in this world that, they're not going to have enemies, so to speak. But let's be clear here. This show has shown that dragons and changelings and other, like, sentient monsters exist. So there are enemies, there are threats. And love and tolerance only goes so far, as the bronies found out eventually.
Oh, totally. We get you. But maybe don't express how you feel by destroying them?
I don't take advice from ponies. The only thing I take from you is breakfast. At least I used to.
You know, you're a lot like us.
Doubt it.
It's true. Do you know who Twilight Sparkle is?
No.
Well, she's the most well-liked, studious, do-goodiest pony in Equestria.
Ugh, she sounds awful.
Oh, you'd hate her. I used to. She made me unsure about my place in the world, which led me to act out against her.
And I used to be a dictator who ran a village with an iron hoof.
Really? Maybe you two do understand me.
Yes, we do. But now,
I mean, they just compared you to a dictator and a dick.
And I no longer control ponies against their will. And our lives are so much better for it.
Yes,
Wow,
because
so
you
you're
totally
both
changed after every
losers.
little thing she...
Stay
I mean,
away from me, or I'll do
nothing.
you what I did to the vine.
Well, Operation Lead Mall Wharf Away is coming along. How'd it go with Pharynx?
Your brother is, challenging.
Oh, that bad, huh?
It wasn't great.
You want to talk it out? You can come with me to the Feelings Forum.
I feel like what now?
Yeah, the film.
Oh, it's a place for changelings to express their feelings so we all gain a better understanding of each other. It's really helped bring the hive closer together.
Sometimes I feel like I'm a blue changeling. Sometimes I feel like I'm a purple changeling. But here I am, a green one. You can be anything you want to be. Be blue one day and purple the next. Be both on the same day. But then I feel like I'd be living a lie.
Yes, but you see, transgenderism is... Oh, I'm sorry, was that not the joke you were going for there? Oh wait, you were making a joke out of it. Ooh. That's risky, MLP. That's real risky. But then again, you are changeling, so I mean, you could just... Couldn't you, like, transform into a changeling? That's the thing that's never brought up. Could they just transform into changelings of a different kind of changeling? Have they ever tried? Weird.
It's very brave of you to share something so personal. Does anyone else have similar concerns?
I used to, but craft time has given me such a creative outlet. I feel great now.
Everyone loves craft time. I
love craft time.
Well, everyone except for you-know-who.
Yeah, you know who spends all his craft time making spears.
It's because his name is Voldemort.
Scary and intimidating. You-know-who makes me uncomfortable.
He makes us all uncomfortable.
Everyone, please! I understand Pharynx can be challenging at times.
That's an understatement. He lined the hallway with thorns.
He teaches little changelings to growl and hiss.
My soup's too hot.
What?
I love this
I thought
guy.
the Feelings Forum was for sharing our problems.
It sounds like your lame feelings forum is for talking about me behind my back.
Yeah.
Feelings Forum is for talking about anything that's bothering you. Is there something you'd
Oh
like
shit.
to share, Pharynx?
Quality just went down.
Actually, there is. The changelings used to be a fearsome swarm. Now we sit around talking about our feelings so much you can't even stop a malware from eating all your pretty plants. I could have sent that thing packing before, but I guess now we'll just try to lead it away and hope that keeps us safe.
I don't feel
Dude,
safe
that's
with
basically-
him around.
I'd feel safer if you were gone.
I can't do that.
We want him back!
Well,
Hey, my soup's cooled down. These feeling forums are great for solving problems.
Everyone.
man, I love this guy, but... So here's where I'm going to talk about this. I don't understand why the new changelings have adapted so quickly. Like, they've adapted, like, they've changed their entire perspective, and that's what makes them kind of unhealthy, because it's almost like they've kind of, like, it's not real, it's not legitimate change, it's more like sudden and forced. It's like cult status level of change, and that is the problem. That is the only problem I see with this episode, is really that it portrays that. For the first half of this whole episode, they're going to be portraying this weird anti-changeling bias, where these changelings are no longer acting on their original natures, like they've just, well, changed. And I guess you could argue that technically, since they are bugs, and they did kind of metamorphosize, and that caterpillars don't act the same as butterflies, but I mean, still, it's kind of weird. A little bit.
If we are
Love the soup guy.
interrupting each other, we are not affirming each other. Oh, yeah. That's it. Feelings Forum is over.
No, wait, no, wait.
want to say something, but it goes against everything I've been taught as Twilight's pupil.
Ooh, then by...
That, Pharynx is right.
By all means, say it.
I think Pharynx is a lost cause.
No.
I'm all for second chances. Third even, but he just seems like a bad bug.
And Thorax has a duty to the whole hive, not just his brother.
If he keeps sticking up for Pharynx, the hive might decide they don't want Thorax as their leader.
I think he might have to kick Pharynx out. But I don't want to be the one to tell Thorax that.
Me neither. But some pony probably should. I nominate you.
I think that somebody should probably understand how loyalty works, and understand that being a good leader, while it does mean looking out for the majority, not just the individual, also means not being a complete asshole to your loved ones. Especially when they're just being assholes and they can get over it.
Thorax, we have something to tell you.
It's about Pharynx, isn't it?
Maybe?
Look, I know he's an aggressive warrior type, but when I was little, every young changeling wanted to be like that. Every young changeling except me. The others would pick on me for not wanting to fight.
Look at the little grub playing with his dollies. Step away from my brother.
But Pharynx never let them hurt me.
We were just complimenting his dollies.
Spiderling!
Thanks, Pharynx. Why are you hitting yourself? Stop hitting yourself! Why are you hitting yourself? Ouch! Cut it out, Pharynx. You're right, you know. You need to have tougher skin.
Aw, that was a really sweet story. Until the end.
No, that's just
I
normal.
know Pharynx loved me, in his own way, and I know there's still good in him. That's why I keep sticking up for him. Anyway, what did you want to talk to me about?
Me? No, but Starlight has something she...
Actually, Thorax, never mind. Come on, Trixie, we've got a thing to do.
What are you doing? I thought we agreed you'd tell Thorax he had to kick his brother out of the hive.
Maybe we don't have to. Get Pharynx and meet me at the hive entrance. I'll explain everything.
And how am I supposed to know where Pharynx is?
I just saw Pharynx.
Oh, well that was easy.
Yeah, isn't it helpful?
We'll just use one problem to solve another. I switched the trail of plants around to lure the Malworf here. The changelings may not be able to stop it anymore, but Pharynx certainly can. When it attacks, he'll save his brother, showing every pony his good side. The others will accept him, and Pharynx will finally let love and friendship into his life and transform.
Wow.
I know, right? Great idea. Where's Pharynx?
He's gone.
Gone like gone to the throne room?
Gone like gone. One of the changelings said Pharynx left the hive for good.
And who's gonna stop the dread Malworf I'm leading here?
Well, hopefully you.
Thorax, there you are. Pharynx is missing.
Wait for it.
And the dread Malworf is coming this way.
Told you.
That doesn't make any sense. The trail of plants should have led the dread Malworf away.
I might have relayed them to lead it back toward the hive.
Why would you do that?
I thought if Pharynx saw you were in danger, the loving, caring side of him would come out when he protected you.
But instead he's out there alone, somewhere between us and that rampaging monster? I have to save him.
I'm coming with you.
Of course you are. This is all your fault.
Oh, don't be too hard on Starlight. Her heart was in the right place.
You're coming too.
Oh, right. I mean, I was gonna volunteer anyway.
Who else is coming? Fine.
Oh, sure. You could all stay here, not help Pharynx, and he won't bother you anymore. It's your choice. But remember when you didn't have a choice, when you were forced to obey Chrysalis. You might have been unstoppable, but you weren't free to choose. And now you are, because of Thorax. Well, it's his brother out there. And now it's your chance to prove you're just as strong embracing love as you were feeding on it. Now is your chance
Ironic how
to show what
Chrysalis
changelings can really
is the only
do.
one that didn't
Not
take the
because you
plunge
have
into
to,
the
but
chrysalis
because you
of
choose to.
evolution.
That was an amazingly epic speech, Starlight. I just can't believe not a single changeling was moved by it.
I can't blame them. If he
It's
wasn't
the kind
my
of friend
brother,
I wouldn't
don't
stick
think
around
I'd
with.
be here.
I mean, I love
We're gonna have
Trixie
to
because
face
she's
them
such a
all
bitch,
by
but at the same
ourselves.
time,
Maybe it'll be long
I
gone
love her
and we'll
because she's
find
a
Pharynx
bitch,
out
not
here
because
alone.
she's like a good person by any means.
Or maybe not.
Pharynx! What are you doing here?
I'm here to save you.
Get out of here! Let me handle this!
We're not leaving you.
I may have forgot to mention in my letters that Malwarfs have really thick hides.
Alright, so while this battle scene's going on, I'm going to explain my whole theory.
I thought you said you could eat this thing.
Yeah, with the rest of the swarm! Not alone!
Good thing you're
Theo-
not alone.
Theoretically
I told you
speaking.
it was an epic speech.
Damn it, Trixie! Anyway, theoretically speaking, I'd assume that the changelings still kind of are parasites, but rather than feeding off the love of other ponies and other things, they're feeding off of the love of each other, which may actually be the reason why they've all changed so rapidly and why they're okay with cutesy things and not fighting and stuff.
That's it!
Because they're literally feeding off of like mutual love.
Now is not
You know?
the time.
A mutual love for each other and for the hive and everything, and that's why it would be the next logical step in their evolution. They're still parasites, but they've gone from like a sort of parasitic nature to a more there's a word for it. Both species. It's more like, rather than being parasitism, it's more mutualism. It's a mutualistic sort of thing. You know? Google it. Trust me.
Time to make
It
fun
makes
of me,
sense.
Pharynx. Oh, right! Of course!
Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself?
Yeah, Malwarf, why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Huh?
Ooh, that looks like it hurts.
We did it. It's gone.
It'll be back.
What were you doing out here?
Leaving. I'm done with all of you.
Oh, it's just, why bother fighting the Malwarf then? You could have left it alone.
Well, I couldn't just let it attack you.
But I thought you were done with us and you didn't care.
I never said that. The hive is the thing I care about most.
Well, you certainly don't act like it.
Well, I'm sorry if I don't get excited about pretty flowers and feeling circles and
It's a feelings forum.
whatever. It doesn't matter. Even if I do care about the hive, I obviously don't have a place there anymore.
Actually, you do. because we've been wrong. The Hive may be a gentler, nicer place.
But that doesn't mean we won't have to defend ourselves. Clearly.
And who better to help us do that than the only changeling who never stopped protecting us?
This guy, make him captain of the guard.
Want me to stay?
Unless you still want to leave the Hive.
Why would I want that? I love the Hive.
Evolution! In the shape of a chrysalis. I like his color scheme a lot more than the other ones. Like, I really do.
He did it! He transformed! I always knew you had it in you.
Really? Because I thought you said I was a lost cause and you were going to tell Thorax he should kick me out.
Starve!
Uh-oh.
How could you say that? What? That's... I mean... But you...
Lucky for us, you weren't a lost cause.
Lucky for me, you didn't give up on me.
Aw, isn't that sweet?
So, glad everything worked out.
Yeah! Let's talk about how you not only led the Malwarf to the Hive, but also drove my brother away from it.
Yes, let's talk about that.
I am so sorry about that. But I would like to point out that my admittedly terrible plan did bring everything together in the end.
Hey, do you guys want to hear the story about how I used to make Thorax hit himself?
Absolutely, yes, right now.
Well, when we were young...
The ends justify the means.
Except for Thorax.
The
He was a-
end.
I had to protect.
My Little Pony, a story about nepotism, friendship, and accepting that everything is nice and the world is really run by little girls. This was one of the episodes I really liked out of Season 7. And this was Mjax rambling about Technicolor Equines. See you next time.